everyone, and welcome to Excellent Conversations, sponsored by Excellent Nutrition and Fitness, helping office and computer professionals disrupt the cycle of chronic stress through food, mood, and movement. I'm your host, Heather Lynn Darby. The title of today's segment is Laughter Yoga, a Proven Path to Relieve Stress. I'm talking with expert Cristina Lorefice about laughter meditation and laughter yoga. Cristina, aka Giggles, is BACP accredited counselor in the UK and the founder of LOL4health.com. We'll be discussing all about the critical skills someone needs to be successful with laughter without feeling conspicuous, new developments in the area of laughter meditation and exploring how to practice, and some strategies and secrets every stressed out professional needs to know when starting a laughter meditation practice, and possibly some misconceptions about laughter. So Cristina is a hands-on expert on the benefits of laughter, and she learned about laughter wellness, and it gave her the freedom to express joy, playfulness, and presence. Her passion for laughter inspired her to create LOL for Health to continue spreading the benefits of laughter one giggle at a time. And now Cristina offers a laughter wellness program that produces lasting changes for individuals, groups, and couples. So you can check out LOL4health.com. So welcome, Cristina. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Heather. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I often approach things from my nerdy, sciencey background, so the neurology and physiology of different practices. So I'm really excited to talk with you today about the practical and real-world implementation. So let's get started so you can share your latest ideas about how to help stressed out professionals and helping them start to get the benefits of regular laughter. So my first set of questions is about your background and experience in the field, so our audience can get to know who you are, where you're coming from, and how you can relate to where they are right now. Then we'll discuss about the reasons people might be interested in trying out laughter meditation. Then we'll jump into your latest ideas and thoughts about an effective laughter practice so that our audience can understand how they can apply what you've learned to their situation in today's world. And then finally, we'll jump into the cool stuff with some, maybe tips and tricks and possibly try out a laughter exercise so our audience can get, the real inside scoop. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of background, education, and experience in this field?
Yes, absolutely. So as you have already mentioned, I'm an accredited counselor with the BACP, which is in the professional body in the UK, the British Association for Counseling and Psychotherapy. And I have been a counselor for decades. I was a manager of a mental health service in the UK, and I used laughter wellness, laughter meditation as one of the modality to deal with depression and anxiety. And I found that it worked really well with people with depression and anxiety, because depression, as you may know, is living in the past. So we ruminate about the past, and anxiety is the living in the future, the fear of the future, right, and what may happen in the future. So laughter is a great way to be present and grounded in the moment. So it's a mindfulness practice, so to say.
Yeah. Wow, that's really super powerful. When did you get started? Tell me again when you started incorporating the laughter modality.
Yes, so round about 2008 in London, in the UK, I started, and then I went on into my journey to further the practice and the experience and to spread it also. And when I came over here in the US, I couldn't practice as a counselor as such while here. So I had to pull out all my other skills. And, I'm also a mindfulness teacher, trained teacher, and I'm a laughter wellness practitioner. And so I thought, which one do I want to do? And then I thought, I fancy doing more of the laughter wellness, laughter yoga. Some people call it also laughter yoga. And so I just threw myself in it. And I found that it's really transformative. And I myself was puzzled and pleasantly surprised of the benefits, not only in my life, because moving to a new country and not knowing where you're going, and there's a lot of private stuff that's happened that I'm not going to go into details with, but it has really helped me and helped others that I've met on my path to transform their lives.
Wow, that's a really great story. Moving home, moving country even, and the culture differences and navigating that's one of the biggest stressors that people experience in their life. And so you found that laughter really helped your resilience guide you through that process. So that's an incredible story. Clearly you're the right expert for us when it comes to implementing the benefits of laughter.
Yes.
So can you expound on some of those benefits?
Yeah, sure. So laughter yoga or laughter meditation, I call it laughter meditation because I go more towards laughter meditation practice, because I've been practicing meditation for decades, and then so I use laughter as part of the being in the moment and being in the zone of meditation, in the gap. In fact, they say that laughter produces the same brain waves as meditation. So you produce the gamma waves just as if you were to go in deep meditation. But with the difference is that with laughter meditation, you skip the monkey mind. Often when people meditate, unless you're practicing meditation for a long time, then it's easy, or it becomes easier. It's always a journey, of course, because the mind, we cannot cancel out the mind. The mind is always there, So with laughter, you go right into the zone of no mind, because you can't laugh and think at the same time. So that way, you just trespass the monkey mind. So what I found is that with laughter meditation, there is I call it the drop. So you have to fake it till you make it. So we fake it first, so that we fool ourselves. We, in a way, we fool the brain to believe that this is real laughter, but the brain doesn't understand the difference. So you will fake it at first, and then naturally you will experience the drop, that what I call the drop, where from fake you go to real laughter. And
that is so interesting. I have practiced smiling meditation in the past, and it's a very similar thing. My nerdy science background again, there's a lot of nerves that run primarily from the body to the brain. So if you put your muscles in the same position as natural laughter or a natural smile, your brain is like, oh, well, those signals are coming in, that must be right. So it kind of entrains your brain into that. And I really love that laughter bypasses the thinky brain that distracts people during conventional quiet meditation, and it makes it a lot more accessible. So please go on. I'm just like, things are clicking together for me.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. So although it may feel a little awkward, at the beginning of practicing, because we're not used to laugh for no reason. We're used to laugh for a reason. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of background. Where does this laughter yoga come from? Where did it all start? It started in 95 in India by a doctor called Dr. Madame Kataria, and he started to laugh in the parks because he knew the benefits of laughter. So after a while, he found that people have different sense of humor, Not everybody will laugh at my joke. I'm Italian and I may have a different type of humor than you, Heather, And some people find jokes offensive. If I start to tell you a joke about blondes or, age or, gender, people get offended. So he figured that I got to find another way to make people laugh. And he found that, okay, I'm going to use our laughter as a physical exercise, just like when we go to the gym, we train our biceps, and same way we use our laughter muscle to train our emotional muscle so that we become more lighthearted, less rigid, more fluid. And that's what he found, that by doing those type of laughter exercises, you gain a lot of benefits for mind, body, and soul. And it feels awkward at the beginning because the mind goes, what are you doing? There's nothing to laugh about. And it's like, what? Shush! Wipe that smile off your face.
I love how you characterize it as an exercise, though, because that kind of gives you, oh, I am laughing for a reason. This is an exercise I'm practicing. So,
Yes.
I mean, that is so connected.
Yes, you got it. You got the essence of it. Absolutely, yes. And so when I explain that, people find it a little bit easier. You know, as they say, okay, I'm going to the laughter gym now. I'm exercising my laughter muscle, rather than going full in it and being surprised by because it can feel awkward at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had people say, oh, it feels awkward. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. With, you know, like with everything else.
Yes.
And then it becomes a way of life. Laughter becomes your mantra. So instead of going you go
Awesome. That is fantastic. So I made a few notes of some of, again, the physiological benefits of laughter, and it seems very related to the breathing and the diaphragmatic movement that is creating, you know, the rhythm of the laughter. So some of that is similar to physical exercise. You know, your heart rate is increased, your respiratory rate is increased, your O2 consumption is increased. And there's been some studies that show that the reduction in inflammation occurs from, you know, the deeper breathing, and the extended exhales lend themselves to the anti-anxiety and the anti-rumination. So I was super interested about in that. Do you find that in practice, in the real world setting?
About the benefits?
Yeah, about there's an increased heart rate, and that the rhythm of the laughter and the deeper breathing with your diaphragm. I mean, I read that in studies. How do you find that in the real world practice?
Yes, I do find that. Like I do, when I lead the classes, I often tell my participants to put their hands on their heart to feel their heart rate. And they really find that the heart is pumping a lot harder, like we're sweating. So I usually, you know, invite them to become aware of their heart rate at the beginning of the class, and then whilst we do those exercises. And also the breathing is, like you say, is from the diaphragm, so we breathe a lot more effectively. And in fact, when we do those laughter breathing exercises, over time you'll find that your respiratory system will work a lot more efficiently. So yeah, I know, I myself noticed that I can hold my inhale and exhale a lot longer. And my cardiovascular, I'm fitter in a sense,
Yes.
by laughing, you know.
That is great to know that that it plays out in a real world setting, that people can get these real benefits. So this is a question: how long? So when you're starting out, like it's an exercise, should you start out with a little bit at the beginning to get used to it, and then have longer periods of laughter later, like as you get more experienced, or how does that work?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I feel in my experience that what is most common is that to overcome the awkwardness and the weirdness of why am I laughing here? There's nothing to laugh about, because the brain always wants to find a reason why we're doing something. Mm-hmm. It's constantly analyzing and saying, you know, should I be doing this or not? It's trying to figure out. So laughter is counterintuitive because it brings us in the moment, in alignment with the moment. And so the moment has no meaning. The moment has no way to analyze anything. The moment is just what it is. And there is no thinking in the moment if we are truly in the moment in that sense. And so laughter helps you to be more mindful and to really to start enjoy just laughing. You know, have you ever, I'm sure you have watched on YouTube, there's a lot of baby laughters.
Oh,
If you type
yes.
on YouTube, right?
Yes, I
Baby
have.
laughing.
Yeah.
There's tons and tons of baby laughing. And they don't need a reason to laugh. They don't need, to watch a funny movie or hear a joke. They just laugh. So it's to be able to go to that place of childlike, of just joyfulness and playfulness without the thinking brain. Does that make sense?
Oh, I love that. So when someone starts a laughter practice, how long, like in a day or in a couple of weeks of practicing, like should they start to notice those benefits of the relaxation and the anxiety starts to fade?
Yes. Well, you notice that right away.
Oh.
Yes, after a laughter session, your whole body is relaxed and
After
calm.
even just one session, they can start to notice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's very encouraging.
It is very encouraging, yes. And I often ask my participants, tell me how you feel. At the end of the session, I say, in one word, describe this experience. And the words that keep coming up are calm, at peace, relaxed, energized, in the moment, joyful, present, liberated, relieved, released. I forgot now, but every time they tell me the word, I write it down so that I can keep track on it. So I have hundreds of words that people have shared with me about how they feel after a session.
Wow, that is great.
Yeah, those are just some of them, but they keep coming up, the calm, the at peace, refreshed, re-energized, released, liberated.
Oh, great. So how frequently should someone, how long should someone laugh at a time, do you suggest?
I say a minimum of like 5 minutes, a good belly laughter. It's very individual, but of course, you can laugh. You cannot laugh like 20 minutes in one go. It's unrealistic.
Right.
But it's easier when we are in a group. So the sessions that I do in a group can last up to 20 minutes of ongoing laughter. And that is very cathartic. And so it's easier in a group because, as you probably know, laughter is very infectious.
Yes.
So one starts to laugh, the other starts to laugh, the whole room is laughing, and it's easy to go on for 20 minutes. And so when we're alone, we can still laugh, but it's certainly not 20 minutes. But as long as you get that, bursts of laughter throughout the day. And so this is why I encourage joining. There's a lot of laughter calls that you can join, or laughter clubs all over the US.
Oh.
So, that's helpful. At least then you start to create that community. You go to a laughter club, and then, you meet other people and you bond. And it's a great way of bonding and connecting and creating a community. Because think about it. Think about a time when you laughed a real belly laughter, one of those Buddha laughter with somebody. What was the feeling that you had, Heather, when you were laughing with that person at that level?
Oh, connected, like we both were on the same mental wavelength.
Yeah. So when we do that, when we have the joyful, true laughter with somebody to the level that we cry, tears of joy, there cannot be anger, there cannot be judgment, there cannot be blame, none of that. So we learn to be more loving, we learn to be more kind.
Are there any major misconceptions that you encounter when sharing about laughter?
Yes, lots.
Tell me about that.
Oh yeah. All right. So I'll give you a quick example. So we were in Sedona doing a laughter meditation in the beautiful Sedona vortexes, and people were looking, what's going on? When we were laughing and people were, looking at us. This is really, I don't know what they were thinking, but they were looking at us like, this is weird. So I said, come on over, come on over. And they were like, no. So what I'm trying to say is that if we were probably crying and being miserable and in trouble or whatever, people would have been perhaps more likely to join and say, oh my God, why are you crying? What's happening here? How can I help? So what I found is that it's easier for people to go down misery lane than to take responsibility of their own happiness and joyful heart. And society is a little bit designed like that. The drama, the misery. You got to be serious in life. You can't be playful. Playful is not for us. It's not for adults, So we have learned to be very rigid and in a square, in a box. We live in boxes, And so our playfulness, our creativity, our inspirational side, all of that is diminished with the lack of laughter. And so I see people that have misconceptions and say, well, how can this work? This is stupid, this is silly, because they are very rigid people. So you got to break to those blockages of people, so to say. So I can tell from somebody where if they have a blockage, I can tell by the way they laugh or not laugh. And so if they have a blockage and they cannot laugh, then that's great material to explore. Well, what happened there? How come there's no inspiration to laugh? How come there's no joyfulness? How come there's no creativity? How come your laughter is blocked? What happened? Because laughter is a natural thing, like crying. So if there's a blockage, what happened? Where is the rigidity? Where have you lost your fluidity in life?
Yeah. And that stress that everyone experiences and overwhelm in our everyday life creates that rigidity. And like you were saying, it's not only our culture, but it's our biology that we have that sympathetic response, that fight or flight response that's meant to keep us alive. And that is kind of been permanently put on, on. And we don't have the back and forth to the rest and recovery and connection and social connection with people that is the parasympathetic response. And I have found, like when you were talking about laughter being contagious and infectious to other people, and again, back to my neurology and science interest, the vagus nerve, there's an older part of it, which is kind of shuts you down when you're too stressed. And there's another part that is tend and befriend. And when we see someone else laughing, our mirror neurons in our brain make us also smile. When you see someone smiling, or this is a great experiment, if you smile at someone, more than likely than not, they're just going to intrinsically just automatically smile back at you. And it gets up into the eyes, and making like eye contact with other people creates that social bond. So I really see how group laughter can be extremely effective in stimulating that parasympathetic recovery response. So when you're exercising, like, yes, we need stress sometimes, but we also need to go the other direction. And that's what creates the resilience and that fluidity that you're talking about. So this is just such an exciting conversation. I'm glad you're sharing with us.
I am loving it. I'm loving it. Well, let me just show you a few things here, because they're doing a lot of, I love the fact that you're nerdy like that, like you call yourself. I love that. I'm not that nerdy. I'm more like, let's get down to it. Let's laugh. But
the practical application is where, the rubber hits the road. That's where the action happens.
Right, action. So they're doing a lot of research on laughter, and I love that. They're really getting deep into it. And here, there's another one: the science of happiness.
Yes, I've seen these.
We've seen this.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have.
I
I'm
love
so interested that this is like new interests that are coming into the public awareness for the benefit of everyone to deal with our complete overwhelm in our society.
Yes, a lot of stress, and so whatever we can offer to humanity to ease that stress, it's all good. And so yeah, I'm there for that, to just spread my modality
Yes,
in
it
the way
seems
that.
like there's a lot of developments that are coming into the field, and things are about to get shaken up, I think, and have a major impact with helping people deal with stress. So,
Yes,
yeah, can you maybe give us an example exercise that we can try out right now, maybe to show our listeners like what a laughter yoga exercise might be like?
sure. Let's do like a little laughter breathing exercise. So this is very simple, and it will energize you
Okay.
straight away. So you can sit down in a relaxed manner, just like as if you were to meditate, basically. So shoulders relaxed and just sit upright. And then you can either close your eyes if you want to. You don't have to.
Okay.
If you want to close your eyes, you can. And then it's very simple. We're going to just breathe in, hold it there to 4, and then let it all out through laughter. All right.
That was a full breath. You can hold a laugh longer than I can. Is that from practice?
Yeah.
I want to try one more time.
Okay, let's do it again. Breathe in. 3, 4. Let it go. Oh, so that's one.
That's lovely. So these kinds of, and you have a variety of different kinds of exercises that you use with your clients or people that you're practicing with?
Yes, we do have.
Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
nice. So people can get like to join these clubs or work with you and find out about the different types of exercises, and then either practice on their own, maybe 5 minutes at a time every day.
Every day, yes.
Every day.
Yes.
Yeah. And start to see those benefits of letting worry and anxiety kind of fade and roll off you as you gain that resilience.
Absolutely. And at the moment, I'm actually offering a few um, Discover Your Joy one-on-one session where people can have a one-on-one session with me. And during those sessions, we connect. I connect with my clients on a daily basis, and we just laugh on the phone for a couple of minutes, as well as doing other things too. More explorative work. But one of the things that I do with my clients is to laugh on the phone every day.
So they don't have to be in your local area. People can access your services over the internet, right?
Oh yeah.
That is so great. This is similar with my coaching practice. I love that we're able to reach the exact people that, need the benefits of our services over the internet. So yay, technology.
We're so to live in those times, right?
Yeah. So do you have any final thoughts that would sum up everything we've discussed today, or any last bits of advice to all our listeners?
Sure. Well, I feel that it's important to try it out. So if you don't try it out, people don't really get the juice and the essence of it. So I would encourage you to either reach out to me or to join any laughter club that's available nearby, because there's a lot of them. And so that you can go back into your joyfulness that you were given at birth and that we have often forgotten about. But it's a very effective method to to just live a life that it's more meaningful and connected and loving. And so,
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Cristina, for sharing your expertise and experiences so graciously. I'm sure all the stressed out professionals in our audience learned a lot about getting started with laughter meditation and how they can apply it to their own situations now that you've laid it out pretty clearly. And thank you, everyone in our audience, for joining us on this amazing presentation about the information and strategies for getting the benefit of laughter that can massively improve your life. So again, thank you for sharing with us, for sharing the amazing discussion about the benefits of intentional laughter. And I'd like to invite you to check out lol4health.com today for more on how you can succeed with adding regular laughter to your wellness routine for relieving stress. Once again, I'm Heather Lynn Darby. Thanks for joining us for an excellent conversation sponsored by Excellent Nutrition and Fitness. Visit my website, heatherlynndarby.com, where you can access free resources on nutrition and fitness for busy professionals. Please join us to continue this conversation in the free Facebook community, Excellent Vitality Experiment, where we're exploring how to disrupt the cycle of chronic stress through food, mood, and movement. Have a great day.